Melania's moment from runway to punchline. Melania Trump, former First Lady, fashion icon, and lately the star of 1,000 late-night jokes. From her enigmatic smile to her rumored desire to be anywhere but Washington, D.C., Melania has become a source of endless fascination for comedians. They dissect her every move, analyze her every outfit, and imagine her inner monologue with hilarious results. But behind the laughter lies a more intriguing question. What does Melania think of it all?
Martin Short's Melania Musings, a Canadian caper? When comedian Martin Short took the stage on Jimmy Kimmel Live, he didn't hold back. Melania's rumored reluctance to return to the White House was ripe for comedic fodder. "She's looking for a place to live," Short quipped. "She's like, New York? No. Florida? No. How about Canada?"
The audience roared with laughter. Short's joke, referencing a recent Canadian scam story, perfectly captured the absurdity of Melania's situation. Here she was, a woman of immense privilege, seemingly trapped in a gilded cage.
Trump's troubles. Half of nothing for Melania? Jimmy Kimmel, never one to shy away from a Trump-related jab, took aim at the former president's financial woes. On his show, he humorously dissected the latest news about Trump's staggering debts and the implications for his family. With a $454 million bond hanging over his head, Trump's future, and by extension Melania's, seemed uncertain. The financial strain was evident, and the media was abuzz with speculation about how this would affect the former First Lady. "That's got to be tough on Melania," Kimmel mused, adding a layer of empathy to his usual comedic tone. He painted a picture of Melania grappling with the reality of their financial situation. "Imagine being promised half and then finding out it's half of nothing," he quipped, his words dripping with irony. The audience couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of the situation. Kimmel's joke was more than just a punchline. It was a biting commentary on Trump's business dealings and the potential fallout for his family.
The audience howled, their laughter filling the studio. It was a moment of collective amusement, but also a reflection of the public's fascination with the Trump's personal lives. Kimmel's joke was a biting commentary on Trump's business dealings and the potential fallout for his family. He highlighted the precarious nature of their financial standing, making it clear that even those at the top are not immune to economic hardships. But it also highlighted the public's perception of Melania as a woman defined by her husband's wealth and status. The joke underscored the societal expectations placed on her and the scrutiny she faces as a public figure. In the end, Kimmel's humor served as a lens through which the audience could view the complexities of the Trumps' financial and personal lives.
A Valentine's email. More ransom note than romance? When Donald Trump sent out a Valentine's Day email blast to his supporters, it wasn't the usual sweet and sentimental message one might expect on this day of love. Instead, it was a stark, almost transactional communication that left many scratching their heads. Late-night hosts had a field day with it, turning the unusual email into comedic gold. The email, a stark contrast to the heartfelt messages shared by previous presidents, became an instant meme. Social media was ablaze with reactions, as people couldn't help but compare it to a ransom note. It read more like a ransom note than a love letter, with its impersonal tone and lack of warmth. The language used was more suited to a business transaction than a romantic gesture. Kimmel quipped, holding up a printout of the email with mock horror. He highlighted the stark, almost cold language, making the audience laugh at the absurdity of it all.
The audience erupted in laughter, finding humor in the unexpected and unromantic nature of the email. Kimmel's comparison to a ransom note perfectly captured the email's impersonal and transactional tone. It was as if the email was demanding something rather than expressing affection. It was a far cry from the love letters of Barack and Michelle Obama, who often shared heartfelt and personal messages that resonated with the public. Or the tender messages exchanged between Joe and Jill Biden, which were filled with genuine emotion and warmth. Trump's email, in contrast, felt cold and detached, leaving many to wonder if it was more of a fundraising tactic than a true Valentine's message. The internet was quick to respond with memes and jokes flooding social media. People couldn't help but poke fun at the unusual nature of the email, turning it into a viral sensation. In the end, the email served as a reminder of the different ways leaders communicate with their supporters, and how sometimes, even on Valentine's Day, the message can get lost in translation.
Subject line says it all. Melania's unshakable loyalty. Stephen Colbert, never one to be outdone, also took aim at Trump's Valentine's Day email. The subject line simply said, "Melania," Colbert noted, his voice dripping with mock sincerity. Clearly, she's still standing by her man, even if it's just to make sure she gets her cut of the email donation money.
The audience roared, appreciating Colbert's sardonic wit. The joke highlighted the public's cynicism towards the Trump marriage, often viewed through a lens of transactional arrangements and political expediency.
From Obama to Biden, a history of presidential love letters. The juxtaposition of Trump's email with the love letters of previous presidents provided endless comedic fodder. Kimmel showed clips of Barack Obama praising Michelle's intelligence and grace, and Joe Biden gushing about Jill's unwavering support. "See, Donald," Kimmel said, shaking his head. "That's how you do Valentine's Day."
The audience laughed, recognizing the stark contrast between the genuine affection displayed by previous presidential couples and the Trump's often awkward public interactions.
The Donald and Melania show, a public display of something. It was a spectacle that had everyone talking, from political analysts to late-night comedians. The couple's public appearances often left people scratching their heads, wondering what was really going on behind the scenes. Late-night hosts weren't the only ones poking fun at the Trump's Valentine's Day. The event became fodder for countless jokes and skits, with comedians seizing the opportunity to highlight the awkwardness and contradictions that seemed to define the couple's public interactions. Social media exploded with memes and jokes, as users from all walks of life chimed in with their own takes on the bizarre display. The internet was flooded with humorous posts, each one trying to outdo the last and capturing the essence of the Trump's unusual dynamic, comparing the email to everything from a hostage situation to a timeshare pitch. The creativity of the internet knew no bounds, as people found increasingly inventive ways to poke fun at the couple's interactions. The public, it seemed, couldn't get enough of the awkwardness. Every new meme or joke was shared and reshared, creating a viral sensation that kept the Trumps in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons.
The Trumps' Valentine's Day debacle became a microcosm of their public image, a carefully constructed facade that often crumbled under scrutiny. Their every move was analyzed and dissected, revealing the cracks in their seemingly perfect exterior. Whether it was Melania's infamous "I really don't care, do you" jacket, which sparked outrage and confusion, or her often stoic demeanor during public appearances, she became a symbol of the enigmatic nature of their relationship. Or Donald's tendency to publicly contradict his wife, their relationship seemed more like a performance than a partnership. The public was left to wonder if there was any genuine connection between them, or if it was all just for show. The Trumps' interactions became a topic of endless speculation, adding another layer to the complex narrative of their time in the spotlight.
Behind the laughter, Melania's silent struggle. While the jokes kept coming, some couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy for Melania. Was she truly unhappy? Was she trapped in a loveless marriage? Or was she simply misunderstood, a private person thrust into a very public role? The truth, as always, was probably more complex. But the public's fascination with Melania's inner life spoke volumes about the times we live in. In an era of reality TV and social media, we crave glimpses into the private lives of public figures, even if it means projecting our own narratives onto them.
Fashion forward, future uncertain. What's next for Melania? As the laughter subsided, a bigger question loomed. What's next for Melania Trump? Would she retreat from public life, embracing her role as a private citizen? Or would she leverage her platform to pursue her own ambitions? Only time would tell. But one thing was certain. Melania Trump, the enigmatic former First Lady, would continue to fascinate and intrigue us long after her husband left the political stage.
Late-night laughter, a coping mechanism for the Trumpian era? The relentless humor directed at the Trumps, and Melania in particular, raised an interesting question. Was laughter a coping mechanism for a nation grappling with the chaos and absurdity of the Trump era? Perhaps. In a world turned upside down where truth felt stranger than fiction, laughter provided a much-needed release. It allowed us to process the absurdity, to find humor in the darkness, and to remind ourselves that even in the face of adversity, the human spirit could still find a reason to laugh.
Melania's legacy, will she ever be happy again? In the end, the question of Melania's happiness remained. Would she ever escape the shadow of her husband's presidency? Would she find peace and fulfillment on her own terms? Only she knew the answer. But one thing was certain. Melania Trump's story, like the woman herself, was far from over, and the world would be watching, waiting to see what she did next.